What up, homies and homettes? It's your boy Choppadong. I got your boy Tattoo in the chat with me today. MLB live lock show, DFS Army style. We're gonna talk a lot of stuff today. Big slate. But we got some guys popping in already. We didn't set that schedule up right away, so I'm glad everybody jumped in. That's way cool. Go tell your friends. Go tell your friends to come in here and join us. Give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe because we're getting ready to drop some NFL content in the next coming weeks. We're only 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away. By this time, next week, we're going to be ass deep in NFL research. And if you're really into it, in about 2 days, we're going to be ass deep into college football research. So are you excited? Do you want to jump in there and play some football?
Oh, I'm ready. We'll have
love my baseball, love my hockey.
But coming up like after this Sunday, and then I'll be, knee deep in hockey within the first month of football.
So, oh yeah, no rest for you.
No,
but that's good. That's the way we like it. We like talking sports year round. Hopefully, everybody else likes playing DFS sports year round. And here we are. So as usual, down there at the bottom, there's your little coupon code. If you haven't hit it yet, dude, you are running out of time. NFL 2025, 50% off the first month. And just unlock everything that we got. Don't just play picks and crap. Everybody does that. Learn how to apply those picks and actually give yourself the advantage to win and win some real money. Depending on if you play small or you play big, we can help anybody. So jump in. I think the people that are in here are already DFS Army members, which is great. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We're going to, I guess, dive in, talk weather, starting pitching, stacks, maybe build a lineup, and see where the slate takes us, huh?
See.
Let's do that. I can already tell you. You know what? I'm so clairvoyant. I'm so future reading, crystal ball oriented. I can tell you we ain't got no weather today. And there you go.
Are you Jim Cantor?
No yellows, no oranges, no green. It's all green. It's warm. It's still summertime, blah, blah, blah. So let's just power right off of that. And let's get into the MLB optimizer real quick. Just to establish the number, I used the 140 for you cash gamers over there on the left side, took out all but the 1 through 6 hitters. And I built us some FanDuel lineups. And then I'll go back and I'll do DraftKings here pretty quickly. It looks like it likes Sean Manaea. Let's do a quick chalk check. And it looks like when I get to it, it's Hunter Brown, Dylan Cease, and Sean Manaea. Usually that means the Rockies are on the slate. There they are.
They're on the slate. They're just not in Colorado.
It's not at Colorado.
Yeah, they're in Houston.
It's at Houston. So Hunter Brown, Dylan Cease, Sean Manaea, Chris Bassett. Now, we'll have to double check here really quick. Let's make sure the old card. When I see this, like I've got Sean Manaea everywhere, and I kind of don't trust him anyway. But I see him, and then I see two dudes outpacing him, especially by this much, jumping from 9 or 10% up to 20%. I know, well, that's GPP projections, but we're going to dive into the old Carnage report here. We're going to see if it makes sense. Sometimes it makes sense. So if I look over here at Hunter Brown, Lois Carnage, Verlander, Matthew Boyd, Mizrowski, there's your boy. Sean Manaea is about 4th on the list. Sean Manaea has no K score. It's not even a 500. So Mizrowski got all the K score, but over Hunter Brown's in a interesting. Looks like he's not in a great matchup. We know Colorado strikes out. We know he strikes out. We know the potential's there. You have any idea why Hunter Brown wouldn't have a higher K score than this? Is he pitching a contact this year or some crap?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a very weird number. And all this number is, for people that haven't heard it before, is the strikeout percentage of the pitcher added to the strikeout percentage of the team, and you just remove the decimal points. So if you get like 25% on the pitcher, 25% on the team, it adds up to 50, which is 500, 500, no decimals. That feels like that should have been higher. I'll trust the numbers. They are what they are. But I usually look for over 500, and that puts me on Mizrowski, puts me on Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease would be a sexy option tonight, maybe. I don't know. You probably are tackling Seattle. If I'm doing tournament stuff, that's it. I don't think I can just eat. I don't know if I can just eat the chalk at a 411 K score when Manaea's even over that. I don't know. What do you think? Where would you be going for a cash game pitcher on FanDuel. We're already off the rails today because it's not going according to plan.
It never does. Crap, where'd I go? Let me jump in here real quick.
You guys, if you guys want to pivot play, throw it in the comments. Let's discuss this stuff, because when it gets like this, I look at this stuff and I kind of go, man, I mean, it sounds to me like some cash game options are out there. Like, don't be a slave to Sean Manaea. The ownership's up there, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter Brown's probably your main cash.
In theory.
Yeah.
It's 11K on DraftKings. He's got the chalk. Who was second?
Yeah.
Was Dylan Cease second? That's $2,000 less and a way higher K score.
Yeah, I was like, that's the only thing, paying $11,000, for that potential K.
Call me an idiot, but I would save the $2,000 and gain the 200 points in K score. That's a huge jump. So, and I do things wrong all the time. So I am not the perfect DFS player. I know how to read the tools. I know how to play the theory. I know how to do all that. Tonight might be a night where I go, you know what, Dylan Cease looks fine to me.
Dylan Cease is 119 minus 119 to get 8 or more strikeouts.
God.
Hunter Brown is plus 346 to get 8 or more.
I'm sorry. Strikeouts rule the day. I'd be on Dylan Cease. Guys, we're going to make a little pivot here. And we're going to lock Dylan Cease into the cash game lineups. Hopefully it builds me at 140. It didn't, so I got to loosen it up a little bit more to 130 or so. And we're just going to reset the machine. Sometimes it picks different bats. Wow, we really got to get down there. Dude, it just shut down on me again. This is being a little ornery little cuss this morning or this afternoon. I still want all top 5, top 6 bats in the lineup. Lock in Cease, see where it goes. Sometimes it gives you different. 3x3, Detroit and Houston. That sounds gross, but it is what it is. 3x3 again. Yuck. Goldschmidt leading off. I don't know if I could do that, but he's only 2,600. Ugh, that just feels dirty. It's a 4x2. So it looks like DS is going to love Detroit tonight. We'll check that out in leverage stacks and all that in Carnage Report even. There's 4 Houston. It's all Houston or all Detroit tonight. That's apparently it's just going to be a lot of bats in your lineups if you're forcing ownership in there that are coming from Houston and Detroit. I would prefer a Bobby Witt as a one-off over a Paul Goldschmidt, maybe even a George Springer over a Paul Goldschmidt if it like swaps players out, and those are the ones that I'm left. I get like 3 Detroit, 3 Houston, and then end up with that type of stuff. Bobby Witt's in all 5 lineups. That's cool. Who's your first one-offs in? Colt Keith, Carlos Correa, Paul Goldschmidt. I'd probably do Keith or Correa over Goldschmidt. Would you?
Yeah. Probably Correa.
So those lineups are going to probably sort of sort themselves out. But again, the way you do it, you just do these 5 and pick one. Go ahead. Sorry.
I saw Randy's coming. I like Boyd.
You like Matthew Boyd?
Yeah.
Over Dylan Cease? It's okay
No,
too.
I'm thinking DK for SP2.
Well, let's do that. Since we kind of got an idea of where it's going for FanDuel, let's kick over to DraftKings really quick. Then we'll go dive in a little deeper and talk about those starting pitchers. Although, I mean, that's going to be all you, because for me, I'm seeing the marching orders that DS is giving me, if that makes sense. It's telling me what to do. And generally, when the little puta talks, I listen. Start that over at 120. Get down here to the old 99% number. And let's build it. Yeah, doesn't like it. Well, of course doesn't like it. It didn't take my 99%. You little jerk. There we go. I don't know about you. I talk to DS all the time.
How dare you?
135.
1, 2, 3.
Come on, honey. Get
Okay.
me. Oh, it didn't like it. It don't like me. All right, 125, we'll call it good there. Again, you don't have to be precise on the exact number. You get within 5 or 10 points of it, you're good. It's not a super technical program here. Hunter Brown, and then it's picking between Mania and whatnot. So it wants to lock in Hunter Brown, and then it wants to go Mania or Cease. Like Matthew Boyd, you probably could do that. I'll double check his carnage here in a second for everybody. Hunter Brown, Dylan Cease, Kikuchi, Bassett, Mania, Luzardo, Gill. Matthew Boyd's way down the list. To me, he's not cash safe. He's not pulling enough ownership. 10%'s okay. But I don't think anybody's really cash safe tonight. I don't think there's anything obvious. These two guys at 20% above are probably it. Maybe you can get some of these 15ers in there. Hunter Brown probably is going to be in 60% of cash lineups tonight. So you probably use him as a block and then kind of move on. And if you like the upside of Boyd, use him. You like the upside of Cease, use him. You like the upside of Kikuchi, use him, whatever.
I have 7 pitchers in my player pool. Since it's such a big slate, I'm gonna do 20 max tonight. And
explain why. Explain why. You're just not going full MME, but you're getting away from the small field single entry GPP. You're going to just pick up 20 max.
Yeah,
it's harder. Is it harder to do it with just one lineup? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's such a huge slate. It's no real chalk necessarily to to hop on or help kind of guide how you're going to play. So I'm just going to make some stands, and like I put 15% on Hunter Brown max, so I can be half the field on him, and I'll be over. I have Kershaw, Mizorowski, Boyd, Bassett, Kikuchi, and Cease.
Okay. I'm looking through these lineups right now. The only one on DraftKings I probably would not use is the Kansas City, the one with 3 KC Royals in it. And the only reason why is these other lineups are not stacking super hard. Not like FanDuel where it was all Detroit or Houston and then a smattering of others. This one is largely balanced, which is fine. And then it just gave me one with 3 Royals in it. To me, that's a sign that we don't want. That's a sign we don't need to stack. We can just do what we usually do and kind of avoid it. That said, anybody who knows me knows they should probably take the Royals and stack them all up and win a GPP tonight, because whatever I mention is like not the thing to do is what explodes like almost all the time. So I would expect the Royals. If I look later tonight and I see the Royals scored 8 runs, I'm going to be like, figures.
Last night I got my pitching right. So, DeGrom didn't, really do great, but he was so high owned. Did a 5-man Met stack, and I nailed my one off with Lourdes Gurriel, and I didn't cash.
Figures. That's how that goes. Oh, look at all the boys in here. Love it, love it, love it with all the comments. Yes, really likes Dodgers over Astros. Yeah. Brown be a number 1 cash pitcher. Boyd be the best SP2 option. Yes, possibly. Tough to trust. See, I totally get it. Sometimes though in cash games, and here's the thing. If you're going to do this in cash games and you're going to deviate off of the chalk, or you're going to deviate off of, like, we got a night where it doesn't really look like it's all that obvious, yada, 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 and you're just going to pick a guy that you have some confidence in, throw that lineup in a tournament, please. Don't just do it in cash and leave it alone, because if you hit a night where you really smash something, go get paid. That's just another axiom or commandment, if you will. Throw your cash lineup, especially in baseball, and especially on a night where the chalk isn't all over the place and obvious, big slates, whatever. Go throw that thing in a tournament lineup. You never know. I don't blame you, Harlock, for not touching the night. DS was spitting Brown Cease for cash. That's fine. I'd run it again in another 30 minutes or so when we get a little closer to lock, just in case something changes. I would run it all over again. That's why I show you these early first looks. Even this is kind of early. It's not super early, of course. Luzardo, Boyd, yeah, these guys are all fine. Fade in Detroit long. Do that in GPPs. It looks like DS likes them for FanDuel, which means they're carrying ownership and whatnot. So if you do that, you're automatically sort of fading a rather chalky team. So I would make sure that I get out of there. And as far as DePrince asking about one lineup, yes, I only pick one lineup for cash, period. I used to do two, and I'll put 70% of my $100 on this and 30% on this. No, not anymore. I just one lineup. It is what it is. Tomorrow's another day. Because I've had too many times when I've hurt my ceiling, even in cash games. I've hurt my potential earnings by doing that stuff, and it's just playing scared. It's fear-based play. It's results-oriented play, and that's just not the way to do it. Catchers, Levin Teal for the White Sox, probably fair. So on a Blue Jays pitcher, probably fair, Don. DK, large field tourney, favorite stacks. We'll get to those in a minute. A's are looking really good. Royals make me so mad. They do me too. The only news out of Kansas City I give a crap about tonight is that Taylor Swift's engaged. Not only did I see that on Twitter this afternoon, my wife texted me and said, "Oh, look, they're engaged." I was like, "See, you never were an NFL fan. You were only watching the NFL because you were watching for Tay-Tay." I was like, "Get out of here with that shit." They'll be divorced in 3 years and she'll be writing songs again. It's gross. White Sox, yeah, Brewers are probably could be a top team. We'll get to that here, like I said, in just a second. FD pitcher, well, it was Sam Manaea. If it's me, I'd ride the Lightning with Cease. I don't care. If I lose tonight, I lose tonight. We can go silly trying to make ourselves overthink every possible opportunity, but other guys are liking Boyd. Other guys are liking even a Kikuchi, or the other guys. It's Hunter Brown's or Hunter Green, whatever. But I'm getting them confused, whatever. You're just going to have to pick one tonight. If the safest thing you can do is go with the ownership. If you're playing cash games, the safest thing you can do is go with the ownership. For me, the safest thing you can do for tournaments is go with strikeout upside, innings pitched, things like that. And like Tattoo said, 119, minus 119, meaning favored to go over 8.5 Ks. Versus what we say Hunter was plus
346, I think.
Ridiculous. So if I've got a minus, I've got a favorite to hit 8 Ks and a pretty severe underdog to hit 8 Ks, I'm going with the favorite. That's how I would do it. Back to the Carnage Report. Do you have anything to add to that in terms of what you're looking at?
No, I think I really like Mizorowski.
A lot of K upside all the time.
And, he's barely owned, I feel like.
Yeah, we didn't mention when we read the list. So is he one of your 7? Did you mention him?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because, the dude can come off and pop off for 8 to 10 Ks in 5 innings. He's done it before. Looking down this list again really, really quickly. I'm a very shallow thinker. I'm not seeing a lot that I'm interested in. So I'm going to flip it and go reverse. Now I'm going to look at the bottom and be looking for those stacks. And Detroit picks up a 380 WOBA against, 208 ISO against. Sure, they're on the table. And they're probably cheap, and they haven't been great for the past month or two or whatever. I get it. But me, I'm looking at the red. I see New York, 230. I can see why DS likes Houston because the guy is giving up, Gordon's giving up power against, giving up a huge WOBA against, and Houston's going to be cheap. That's why DS likes that. So you could pair them with New York. You could pair them with Detroit. We've got incomplete info on Kansas City, but look at this ISO against of 0.083. It's probably a smaller sample size, but it's not a great sample size. It's not beneficial to us. I'd rather have this 237 against Morton from the Athletics. That's a decent contrarian pick. Toronto, St. Louis. Sorry, I crap on my own team if I have to. Kikuchi can give it up. Bassett in Minnesota can give it up. So whatever. I just avoid the purples and I stack the reds, and I just don't think too scientifically about it. So that said, I'm not going to give 5 top stacks because the way I do it, well, actually I will give them, and then we'll talk to Tattoo here. I arrange by implied run total, by rank, and I just look down this list, and I see where's the chalk. Well, 70%. Detroit's the chalk. So I would be on the other 5 teams. Houston, New York mentioned. Dodgers, duh. Toronto, slightly mentioned. Athletics mentioned as contrarian. Hello. It doesn't have to be that hard. Really doesn't have to be that hard. So that said, toss out those tier 1 and tier 2 picks. How many people you got in tier 1 and tier 2?
2 tier 1s.
2 tier 1s.
And then I have a laundry list.
So if you've got 2 tier 1s, all right, just let's get rid of the chalk. Throw me Detroit. Are they tier 1 or 2?
1.
They are. Okay. Well, I didn't mean for that to happen. I was hoping you'd say 2. You're not helping me out, man. Is Houston your other tier 1 team?
They are not.
Okay, good. So we've got something to play with. Y'all, I killed the chalk for you in Detroit. You've got Houston. Is Houston tier 2 then?
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, tier 2.
They are?
They are tier 2.
They are tier 2. So we got Houston in tier 2, Detroit in tier 1. Y'all take it over from here. Start throwing out the New Yorks, the LAs, the Torontos, the Athletics, maybe Milwaukee. Somebody said they like Milwaukee. Throw me Kansas City because I really, really hope he says, I don't know, don't
Tier
trust
2.
him. KC was tier 2?
Yeah. My other tier 1 I would call a GPP tier 1.
Oh, so maybe a little bit contrarian. Let's see what the comments are throwing. Question: Brown Mets pitcher or Giants pitcher for large field GPPs? Lower owned, higher K score. That's my answer. Who's got the lowest ownership? Who's got the higher K score? That'd be my guy. Because
Blue
neither one
Jays are 2, tier 2.
Yankees tier 1,
Tier 2.
tier 2 for the Yanks. How about your LA Angels?
I actually didn't put them down, but
Not on the list at all. Toronto, you said was tier 2?
yeah.
Now getting Anaheim Angels stacks. That's interesting. Are you using randomness, Chuck? If you are, then that would be part of what that is. And that's fine in baseball, but you're going to vary potentially wildly between runs. But this time of day when the projections are updating all the time, sometimes it bounces back and forth. Run it again in 5 minutes. It'll probably be different again. Don says Brewers.
Tier 2, and well as the White Sox.
White Sox also tier 2?
Yeah. I was looking at the Angels. I think the Angels are a good contender for a mini stack. I just don't think I want 5 of them in my lineup.
Did we do Athletics yet?
A's are tier 2. It's a long tier 2.
The tier of disappointment is long and distinguished tonight.
And I think we've got all but
6.
somebody said Milwaukee, they're tier 2.
Yep. I've got Houston, New York, Toronto, Milwaukee, Chicago White Sox, and the Athletics as your tier 2 teams that we have mentioned so far. And we're sitting at Detroit and nothing for tier 1. We're still trying to find that other tier 1 team.
There you go, Don Juan.
Did you just get it?
Cubs.
Cubbies. How about that?
Just to pick on Verlander.
Don says, cash me outside. So give me your other tier 2 teams if we left a couple of them.
Dodgers. And it was A's, Houston, Dodgers, KC, White Sox, Toronto, Milwaukee.
So KC's the other one. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. That does it today. Hey, throw some dong calls out there and let's build a lineup or two.
Yeah. Being that me and you run a shit show, we totally forgot last week to
we should share that. You threw that in Discord, right?
Yeah. That we hit our 4-leg homer parlay last Tuesday. I sent you the screenshot.
I appreciate it. Not a lot I got that I can do with it.
Because, but that was when I was screaming about Yaz. Like, I love Mike Yastrzemski.
It's fine, man. He's awesome. I'm
Yeah,
a Yaz fan.
it was Yaz, Jose Ramirez, Shotani, and Judge. I mean, nothing crazy. And, I put 5 on it with a 30% profit boost and brought back, like 1,200. So
That's not bad.
it's not a bad night at the office.
So I set you up with a couple of 70% 5x2s, 30% 5x3s. Big slates like these. I'm 5x2 and 5x3. I always throw some 5x3s out there because if 2 teams go off, I want bats from everybody. It doesn't hit very often. Just full disclaimer, 5x3 doesn't work too terribly often, but on big slates is when it works most often. So bear that in mind. And if you're just doing some single entry tournament somewhere, I love 5x3s and those. What teams? I'm going to tell you what. Let's just do the teams and let's just mix them and match them. There's Detroit. There's Athletics. There's Detroit. There's Chicago. Oh, and KC. Lots of early. I don't like that. Toronto. No Texas. No. Did you use LA Angels?
As a mini stack.
Mini stack. That's right. Philly. There's Houston. San Francisco. There's your Cubbies. Seattle, San Diego, St. Louis, Pittsburgh. No Pirates. You sure? Milwaukee. Arizona, Dodgers, Reds. All right. And then just to make it easy, mirror stack 1. And then we'll throw in the old LA Angels. We'll make sure that we only put about 30% on the right side. Now, notice I changed. I do things differently every day, and I don't do them dramatically differently. I'm usually 30% or 40%. The reason I'm doing 30% today is because we've got a lot of damn teams. I don't want to be too heavy on anybody necessarily. Geez, how many teams is that? If I put a 10% max on them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at that. We get even balance. Let's do this. Let's put a 15% max on all of them and a 5% minimum on all of them. That way we get one big stack of everybody and then no more than 3 out of 20 lineups. Eat it up, baby. These are just quick ways to start getting lines, start getting ideas. What you guys do from here is all on you. You learn to tweak this machine. I have spent so many hours to it. My wife is jealous. But it works. It teaches you how to manipulate the machine and use the machine. I manipulate the machine better than I manipulate my wife, too. I'll tell you that right now.
That's fact.
It's probably a good thing. It's probably the only reason I'm still married. Detroit, 3 lineups there. Houston, 3 lineups there. LA, 3 lineups there. Toronto, 3 lineups there. The rest are all 2s and 1s. Now, here's what I like the most. If we look down here at the bottom stacks, it did use a lot of, there's 30% full on the Angels. How about that? Let's hope it picked some good ones. If not, we can tone that down and tamp it down. But I'm looking here. It loves the Angels as a mini stack for whatever reason. Okay. I'll go to the combinations tab. And look at this. Out of 20 lineups, I got 2 Houston LA combos and 2 LA combos. Everything else is a one Detroit, Houston, Houston, New York, Detroit, LA, Houston, Toronto. This is how you mix and match these things. There's no lineup overlap in this. That allows me to really spread out. Now, what that means is I'm going to have some lineups do really, really shitty and some lineups that maybe do pretty well. I'm not out of 20 lineups. I'm not going to have 10 lineups cash. That's not my goal with this idea. My goal is to have one lineup peg the right 2 teams correctly, whether it's Athletics in Kansas City or Detroit and LA. It doesn't matter to me. These teams are all in good spots, and I'm hoping to peg one of them correctly, and it gets deep into the money and pays for all the shit. That's all I'm trying to do. So when we walk through these lineups, Brown and Boyd, you'll see the same pitchers flipping, flopping back and forth, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Astros and Angels. I don't know that I'd like Freeland as a one-off. Astros, Angels, there's the second combo of that right out of the hop. Miguel Rojas is a one-off, not a fan. If I'm 20 maxing it, though, I might do it. I might just do it. I don't necessarily go through 20 lineups and hand tweak them like some people do. If you do and you've got the time for it, that's great. My wife expects me to cook dinner tonight.
If you're not using Boyd, a good cheapie to throw out there is Luis Mantos. He's 2,400, and he's 8 for his last 15 with 2 home runs, a triple, and 2 doubles,
Well,
and
there you
2
go.
steals.
Let's do this. Since it's heavy on these guys, here's the other trick. Let's say you go down here and you're doing 20 max and you're like, oh my God, 95% Boyd, 90% Brown. That's not who I want. Fine, change it. Who do you want? Come down here, you uncheck this box. Sure, you want some Brown. Sure, you maybe want some of the other guys. I mean, Mania, who else was on your list? Mizraski, there's Boyd. And we know it's going to love Boyd. We know it's going to love Brown. So that's who we're going to put our caps on, say 20% each or something like that. Or we can just run it all the way up to say no more than about 40 or 50% of anyone. And then I can further cap these guys down to 25, and I can go down to Boyd and put him down. If I'm not using him, I can uncheck him, or I can put – this is how I control this. Then when I go down here, optimize again. If I didn't just restrict the machine too hard, when the machine shuts down on you at this point, you put too big of a restriction on those pitchers. You just change one thing at a time. You just change one thing at a time so that if it shuts down, you know where you screwed up. And it's easy to go back and undo it or loosen it up. If it's using these numbers, loosen them up. If it's 2 uniques, loosen it up. If it's 20% on your pitchers, loosen it up. We see what changes. Now we got pitchers all over the damn place. So you're going to get more mixing and matching. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe you're really good at picking pitchers and you just love, Brown and Boyd, and that's just where you're going to be tonight. That's fair too. This is the stuff where it really starts to diverge, and that's why it's so hard for us all to win and lose together in the same night. I might go through a 2-week cold streak and you might be hot, and vice versa. And this is why all of our little methods start to kind of separate out, and you do a little differently than I do. And that little bit of a difference makes a big difference in the lineups that we get. So that's just the way that it goes. But there's Houston, LA again with Freeland. Houston's 5x3, Kansas City and Houston. Maybe you're into that. There's Toronto and Houston. With Aaron Judge as a one-off, that's a pretty saucy lineup. 5x3, Toronto, Houston over Toronto, Detroit over Houston. It's just mixing and matching. You go through here, and if you're playing single entry and you like one of these lineups, or 3 max, and you like 3 of these lineups, pick them out and throw them in. Your day's done. You can do the research if you've got the time or you don't. But if you just drove home from work today and you just sat down, you can jam out very competitive lineups in just a few minutes. And then save the deeper thinking and save all the research for the days when you do have the time. It helps you maximize, get the most of what you can out of this membership with DFSArmy.com, which again, by the way, if you're new here, NFL 2025 is the best coupon you're going to see all year. All year. Oh, there's 5 Yankees and 2 Stros. Top of the order Stros, too. 1-2. Freeland, but a 9, 1, 2, 4, 5 Yankees wrap. Yankees wrap with a 1-2 Houston, and I might allow Freeland in that to be my weak link there, but you got to like Bassett and Mania.
Yeah.
All right, there's your Cubbies. Woo. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 with a 1-7. You got the Dingleberries and catching in Detroit in your lineup, and Jeremy Pena leading off for Houston. This isn't a bad lineup. It's just not going to build you bad lineups. DePrince, the number for the cash build on FanDuel was 140 on that left-hand slider. Hey, Peter, if you like the Mets because they're red hot, play them. Just because Tattoo didn't include them in his list, or just because I didn't talk about them on the leverage stacks sheet, doesn't mean they're bad. Any team can explode at any point in time in MLB.
Yeah, I actually really, really thought about the Mets.
You're low owned, decent average points projected when they're green, way down the list.
Red hot.
They're the underdog tonight. It's why their implied run total isn't super high. Like you said, red hot, but they're not generating a ton of leverage. That doesn't mean they're not generating no leverage. That just means they're not generating a ton. Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. If you like them, please play them. And if you play them and I don't, or Tattoo doesn't, I encourage you to shove it in our face tomorrow morning.
Absolutely.
We welcome that trash talk all the time. Did you throw bong calls out?
I did not. We got if you want, I go back and forth with these two, but Ohtani and Judge, if you want to throw them in there to kind of boost it up, but sometimes they don't have the greatest home run odds. But I'll probably build one with Ohtani, Judge, Kerry Carpenter, and George Springer.
Okay.
And my other guy was actually Dylan Dingler was my wild card.
Well, that's funny. There you go. That works. You know, did you ever, and I don't know if the people listening are horse track people or back in the day, Greyhound people. When I was in college, Greyhound tracks were still very, very prevalent. So we would go bet the dogs. And we had a race one time where it was this dog had won some like 15 races in a row. I mean, Secretariat of Greyhounds. And this other dog had won like, I don't know, 5 or 10 races of its own, and they never matched up because they kept them separate because they were to be such chalk odds. It was gross. Well, one night they finally ran them together. And one was like even odds or worse. The other was close to even odds to win or to place, whichever it was. And everybody just did what you did in your home run, your parlay, your dong parlay.
Yeah.
Everybody ran those 2, 1 and 2 like Judge and Ohtani, chalked it up, and then went and boxed a few dogs for third or fourth or something. Ran trifecta, superfecta boxes, keyed the 1 and the 2, and then boxed the rest. And it didn't matter. It's like, I know this one's 1, and I know this one's probably 2. And to be quite honest with you, whoever comes in third would be great.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was funny because it worked just like it was planned. They came in 1 and 2, and then whatever the hell came in third and fourth. And the problem with it was everybody won like $12. Woo! So we were all like, well, that was no fun. I'm like, what do you mean there's no fun? We won. If you can't have fun winning, we can't be friends.
Yeah. I do have the actual, I guess, would be the bong part of the calls is Jacob Melton.
Okay.
I think he's plus 750 or something like that.
It pays well.
Yeah.
Tie him in there with Ohtani or something like that, and if they both hit one, then that'll help. Boost those odds a little bit. The Prince is saying, so if he's on FanDuel playing just one lineup, would it be Detroit? It could be anybody. What's that?
I said, to me, it depends on the contest.
Right. It could be anybody for me. If you're the larger the field, the more I might avoid them. But tonight is such a big slate that I don't think it matters one way or the other. You just have to be right is all. You just got to be right. And you've got, a 1 in however many chance at being right. That's the problem. And it has to be a night where a stack does work because this could be one of those nights where it's pretty balanced and, we just don't know. So the idea behind it is not trying to pick it correctly. The idea is just trying to be right. If it's large field, that might be a time when I might go away from them, but it doesn't mean that I would. And it doesn't matter because what matters is who you pair them with. If that second one is, the Mets, like we just pointed out, and they're really, really low owned, then you're great. You're golden. That's exactly who you would put with like a Detroit or something like that. And I don't mean exactly the Mets, but somebody like that. If you want to be a little lower down the list and, be on Milwaukee. Milwaukee's in a great spot tonight. You could use them with Detroit. You could flip-flop it, make Detroit your small stack and make the other team your big stack. On FanDuel, like I said, 5x3 on huge slates for DraftKings. On FanDuel, you can go 4x4. And I do that on big slates too. I'll set that optimizer up and run 70% 4x3 and 30% 4x4. Because the more teams are on the slate, the more chances are one of those teams is going to go off. And the more chances 2 teams 2 out of 4 teams or 2 out of 6 teams aren't likely to explode. However, 2 out of 20, a lot better chances of that. You just got to guess them right. You just got to get them. If you can get them, then you're good. What else you got, Hoss?
Hunger pains. I mean, it's surprising I could probably not eat for a month as big as I am, but I actually get hungry.
I think we all get hungry from time to time. Speaking of which, I got to order a pizza for my kid. He goes to work every day. He takes pizza to lunch every day.
Nothing wrong with that.
He's a robot, man. He doesn't deviate from any. If he deviates, he freaks out. It's that whole autism, OCD type stuff where he just man, he doesn't do a change. He's like,
yeah. I mean, I think a lot of us are creatures of habit anyway.
Absolutely, so. We all are. It's funny with us, with me and my boy, we know exactly where it all came from. Came right down the family tree. Came right through me. Came right through my dad. Once we learned kind of a little bit about autism, my dad and I looked at each other and went,
"Son of a bitch."
Yeah, that's us. That's on us. Sorry, ladies. That's on us. But we can let them go. For me, for you, for DFS Army crew, MLB Live Block Show. Thanks for participating, everybody. Houston Tigers stacks would be great. Thanks for tuning in. Mott Haven Lions. You guys are awesome. 100 of you in here again today, day in, day out. Absolutely love it. Tat and I'll be back tomorrow. And I guess we'll see y'all then, right?
Yeah, let's all be a little bit richer when we meet tomorrow.
Amen to that. I'll take $2 richer. It works for me. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.